Hi, I'm Nasreen Amri, the founder of Carrorism.
And I'm Fonde Bridges, the Carrorist spokesperson.
Welcome to Carrorist Conversations. This is Ep.19, Conscious Acts of Kindness.
Oh, conscious acts of kindness.
Yeah, time to get conscious with it. I mean, random is cool and all, but, you know, as a carrorist, it's really important to be conscious and mindful of our thoughts, our actions, and our words.
Yeah.
Hence why we, pull a healthy word of the day out, because it makes us conscious. It puts it into our consciousness. And what I love about that is that we can then use healthy words as a conscious act of kindness, like with ourselves and with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. There's been like a lot of conscious acts of kindness that have been happening, not only during the pandemic, which I know we've highlighted some of those things, but right now, like the whole world is rallying together, and there have been some really interesting conscious acts of kindness, like very heroic people are just
Stepping up,
and speaking out.
And the world seems to be demanding at the very least kindness.
Yeah.
As a conscious act on so many people's parts. So, yeah, should we do the healthy word?
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to? Okay. What'd you get?
Imaginative.
Imaginative.
Right, not just imagination. Imaginative.
That's different.
Yeah, it is.
So, it is an adjective, and it is having or showing creativity or inventiveness. I like that. I like inventiveness.
I do too.
I like that.
It's kind of like imaginative, inventiveness. Like, I don't really hear it used that often. So.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, the carrorist that I chose to celebrate today is so brilliant in her ways. She is very imaginative, actually, and comes in her ways of how she is her conscious acts of kindness, how she just spreads kindness all over the world. Actually, she's known for her kindness. They call her the champion of kindness.
Okay.
It's making me a little competitive, actually. But
is that right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Fair enough.
Ellen DeGeneres. I absolutely love her. American comedian and TV show host. She has the show Ellen. So, the Ellen Show. But what's cool is that she highlights a lot of carrorists on her show.
True.
She highlights people who are doing really cool acts of kindness all over. And I just love that she brings them into the spotlight where maybe the world wouldn't see them.
Right.
So she's like on the kindness game.
Yeah, I've enjoyed watching the different shows where she encourages people to continue to go forward, not just emotionally or comically, but financially. She finds a way to boost the work they're doing in a variety of ways. And I to be candid, I actually thought about Ellen this week, so that's kind of fun. That's what I was about to say. I was thinking about it.
Right. It's cool because actually not only my son, like he loves Ellen, but I've had a few people say, wow, maybe Ellen will invite you onto her show. Like Carrorism. I was like, that would be great because I love her. I absolutely love her. But
That would be
so in 2016, she got the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which it's like one of the most prestigious civilian awards or medals that's given out from the President of the United States.
All right.
And it highlights like people's contribution to world peace or other significant cultural impacts. So
all right.
I thought that was really cool. And so she's done so many conscious acts of kindness. It's a little out of control, I think, but not out of control. But out of control as far as to like list them.
Trying to pick
so,
one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you choose?
So I just focused on what she's doing most recently, and she has this Be Kind, what's it called? Oh, Be Kind box.
Okay.
And so I thought it was kind of interesting, a very imaginative way to share conscious acts of kindness right now.
Okay.
So like people can submit and, subscribe, and it's like this kit that she puts together, which is kind of cool. Like a summer kit would maybe have like a little tote for going to the beach and a beach towel and some other like products that she
endorses.
Exactly, endorses. And they're like handpicked by her, and they help different world organizations. And so with every box, that you purchase, you're not only giving to these organizations, but she's also partnered up with this coffee house. What is it called? Steeped Coffee. And then they're delivering coffee to the people on the front line of COVID. So doctors and nurses and so on and so forth. So it's really imaginative, conscious acts of kindness that goes all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Impacts a lot of people.
Yeah, so that was really cool. Mm-hmm. And her quote,
is there a quote?
Be kind to one another. I thought that was very straightforward.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it, yeah.
All right. Are you done?
I am, yeah.
Okay. So, I chose someone that was born in the 6th century BC. Yes.
Well, good. We have modern to the past.
Yeah, historical
it.
figure. He's a Chinese philosopher and writer. His work has contributed directly to Confucianism and Taoism and Buddhism.
Okay.
I'll admit, many details about his life are not known. There is even a segment of historians who believe that anything that is mentioned about him, other than, I guess you could say, records about how people admired him. Mm-hmm. But every day, day to day, even the story of how he ended up writing his book about his philosophies, all of that, many historians said is made up. It's a compilation of many characters put into one person in order to describe this individual. Mm-hmm. That being said, though, he did create a book inspired by the suggestions of another gentleman who at the time was like 6th century BC, so I believe the guy was like the ward over the area. He'd probably be considered like a mayor.
Okay.
Now, and the guy says to him pretty much, hey, your philosophies and your thoughts, those are awesome. Why don't you go write those down? We could all benefit. So he does. He writes down what he considers ideas and ideology around virtue and following the way. Mm-hmm. After that, his story kind of disappears. However, as people find out about his writings and his teachings, he ends up literally becoming worshipped for 3 centuries as a deity.
Wow.
They say that his masterpiece influenced the elite in Chinese culture from the 6th century BC until the 3rd century BC, influencing politics, literature, calligraphy, painting, music, martial arts, and a variety of other cultural traditions.
Okay.
And to be candid, his writing and his work influences people all the way up to today. Mm-hmm. During the 6th century BC, he is also credited for advising Confucius, who was considered, Confucianism, right? who is considered one of the premier thinkers of definitely ancient philosophical traditions. So it says here that over the last 2,000 years, he has influenced billions of people, which I think is pretty cool.
Billions, yeah.
Billions, right? His quote, "Kindness in words creates confidence. Kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Kindness in giving creates love." Kindness in giving creates love. I love that.
That's really cool, just because at the beginning I was talking about conscious acts of kindness, and I said as a carrorist, we want to be conscious of our words, our thoughts, and our actions. And that quote completely
touched on that.
Yeah, touched on it for sure.
Yeah. His name is Lao Dan, or many people know him as Lao Tzu. He is the inventor. His book is called The Tao Te Ching.
Okay.
And if you ever heard of one of the cuter versions, influenced by his book, is the Tao of Pooh. Right? But anything related to the Tao is directly attributed to him.
I see, okay.
And he is considered the father of Taoism. So, pretty remarkable. I've read his book. I've enjoyed it. It definitely helped me in quieting or organizing some of the philosophical thoughts about my relationship to the spirit of existence. Right. So credit to him. Love him. He's one of my favorites. Again, you know how I do. I read the quote and I was like, oh, kindness in words creates confidence. Yeah. Kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Kindness in giving creates love. Right? So that was really beautiful. Very beautiful. So, question of the day. Is that where we are?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's kind of quick.
I was going to ask you something.
Oh, sure. I'm done.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about conscious acts of kindness, could you share with me and everyone like a conscious act of kindness that you do for yourself?
Oh, cool. Yes, well.
And maybe other people. I mean, and maybe there's one there's something you want to share that you do for other people as well. Whatever comes to your mind. Since, we practice this, and I know healthy words is, I've said it before, like that is one way that I'm consciously kind to myself.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you have something really cool in there that.
So I'll tell you, one of the first things that I can accredit practicing conscious acts of kindness and doing so consistently now since I was really 18, almost 19, is that I am always forgiving of myself. Like I feel like that is the greatest kindness. There's a quote from one of my books that is, "Innocence is never lost, only forgotten." And it was because I was having this moment of meditating on how short a life is. And I realized that I don't think we live long enough to truly grasp the profound mysteries of the planet.
Right.
Right? And we live so short and we learn so much. And I think that at that time I was what, 18, 19, and I had been thinking about this is interesting. The timing of it is, your question is interesting because just when you asked, I was wondering if I was going to really talk about it. But what I will say is, I was suicidal because I was a black male. Right. So I didn't want to participate. I didn't want to live here. And after I chose to live, which was a pretty deep experience, I did go to hang myself And I happened to see slaves begging for their lives in a vision as I put the noose around my neck, and it paused me because I couldn't fathom giving up when they wanted it so bad, and I couldn't understand why a slave would want to live. Why would they want to fight for their life? Why wouldn't you just want to give up such a strenuous and hard and cruel existence? Why would you want this?
Right.
And I landed on the word joy, and that led me to deciding that a part of being joyful would be forgiving myself and understanding that I don't know it all, and there's an element of innocence, and it's been true, right? I'm 44 and a half. I like saying that just because that's like what a 6-year-old would say. But I'm 44 and a half, and I still have this innocence about me. I don't know. I don't know. And so I forgive me, because whatever combinations of thoughts, experiences, circumstances that led me to forget my key in the car, right? That is okay. And because people forget their keys in cars, right? I forgot to, I went to the store, did all these things, forgot the one thing my son said he wanted, right? So I forgive myself, and so that would be my greatest kindness that I do for myself, is I forgive me and keep moving.
Well, it's wonderful because it's also a healthy word. So
yeah, and I spend a lot of time with myself.
Yeah,
so
well, we all do.
That relationship is pretty important. I can't be running around mad at that guy. He's here all the time.
No doubt. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, well, thanks for asking the question. Yeah, I know you. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, thank you for sharing your carrorists with me, and these are two wonderful carrorists that I'm grateful that we celebrated them, for sure. So, well, thank you for sharing.
And thank all you.
Carrorize yourself.
Oh yeah, I really think forgiving ourselves is one of the kindest things you can do on the planet.
Yeah.
Because maybe everybody else is going to be against you, but how important is it that you are with yourself? You know you better than anyone. You've been there for all the thoughts, for the moments and everything else. I always tell my kids this, and they're going to crack up when I tell all of you, is I only have like one moment in my life where I walked out to the journal van when I was driving the vehicle. I used to
deliver papers?
Deliver papers to delivery men and women.
Okay.
Not like paper boys, but like adults who had large routes. And I would take the truck and go deliver and meet them at the place and pick up the papers and bring them to them, so on and so forth. And I might have been 19, 20. And I went outside to get in the van, and I woke up in somebody else's car 4 blocks away. And so I don't remember how I got in that car. And I was in the passenger seat, and it was one of the most terrifying and uncertain moments of my life. I still have no clue what car I was in. The car was not there when I came back either.
I'm confused.
I was confused. I was walking to a vehicle.
Okay.
I was this distance from it. I remember it clear as day. I remember the vehicle. The journal van was there. I remember coming back to my apartment where my friends were staying and being like, yo, somebody, I just woke up in somebody's car. We need to go see who that is. And when we got back, the car wasn't there. So crazy. Yeah. There's more. There's one more moment in that story, but I'll tell you that off camera.
Okay.
Okay, great. So hey, be kind to yourself and everyone else. Yeah.
And keep on carrorizing.
Thanks.